habitual actions, routines, and a schedule, I now think is the number one thing you can do to succeed. Again, this is just my personal opinion, but I talked about in a video not too long ago about how I thought discipline, if you use that with motivation, can be the key to success. Well, I just went on vacation for a week. I was actually sick, and then I went on vacation. You can probably still tell from my voice that I was sick. I went to see my sister graduate, which was a surreal experience to know that as of right now, the last of the bloodline is graduated. Anyway, so I got back, and this is coming from someone that has 2 YouTube channels and 2 jobs besides the 2 YouTube channels. I'm a busy guy. And coming back, I took Sunday completely off to myself, decided to not do anything, just kind of like relax. I was still kind of, my throat was still kind of a little funky, and I just wanted to, smoke weed, play video games, sleep, do whatever I needed to do before I had to get back into work. YouTube's a job too, so I have 3 jobs, and I had to get back into the working environment. And I started to lean on what I was saying about motivation can kind of get you there, and I started thinking about the channel and making money and why I'm doing it. And that didn't really help. It didn't really help. Like I wanted to get up and do it, but it didn't motivate me enough. Discipline. I was fighting discipline too. Because I wasn't really feeling that great. And I really just, in the back of my head, I just wanted to sit there and do nothing. Even with Monday, yesterday, I wanted to just sit there and not do anything. And then I decided to make a schedule. And I just wrote it out. I physically wrote it out. Now, did I actually need a schedule? No, I didn't need a schedule. I didn't need to write it out at least. I knew my schedule. I didn't need to write it down to physically see it. But what happened after I did, I think is pretty remarkable, is that as soon as I wrote down that schedule, like an amount of stress kind of just like went away. I don't know how to explain it, but like instead of thinking about all the stuff I had to do, it almost took away the thought process of it. It almost just made it so that I no longer was thinking about it. It's there, and I'm going to end up doing it no matter what, because it's on the schedule. There's no thinking about it needed, which is great. I ended up going out on Monday and doing my thing that I needed to do, and was able to get over the initial, anxiety of coming back and having to work 3 jobs and work 100 hours a week. And, even though I didn't have any motivation and my discipline wasn't really pushing me through it, the fact that I had that on a schedule, the fact that I knew, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're going to be doing DoorDash. You're going to be making videos during those days. and you're going to be working your regular job. You're going to be getting over the sickness soon, so you should be okay. And it helped. It helped a lot. I almost think of it as like, because human beings are pretty susceptible to addiction, right? And with addiction, there's one thing that's in common with this is that you do the same things over and over again every day. You do the same habitual actions over and over again. And in a sense, even though we're talking about addiction, in a sense, it gives some kind of relaxation or relieves stress to continually do the same thing over and over again, and to not think about the process. All you're doing is just doing something. You're doing it over and over and over and over again. What are you doing? It's just sniffing there. But anyway, this might not be addiction, but you're still doing a habit over and over and over again, even if it's just a schedule. So it's almost like taking a negative thing that you would normally do and taking that energy and turning it into a positive energy, And it's hard too, because when I was on vacation, we were drinking. I don't normally drink. I'm not a big drinker. I used to be when I was younger. But I'm not really a big drinker. So we were drinking and having a good time because it was vacation and graduation celebration. And I got into the habit of being out of my habit. And it was rough. It was absolutely rough. I had no motivation to continue. All I wanted to do is smoke weed and play video games. But as soon as I wrote that schedule, it was a relief. It was such a relief, and it got me going and pushing forward to start over and get my habits going again. I don't know. I'm hoping this video will help somebody. If you're struggling with motivation or discipline or any of that stuff, try writing out a schedule. It doesn't even have to be times. For me, the times help because I know, as soon as I'm done with my work at 6 o'clock, I go to my other job, blah, blah, blah. I know that, at 11 o'clock, I edit videos, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? It helps me. But you don't have to write times, but you could just write little tallies of, things to do. And, once you're done with them, check it off. And then once all those things are done for the day, you're good. You got nothing else to worry about. There's nothing else to think about. You're done. And I think that the habits, come on, my little babies, where you going? Anyway, try it out. If you're having a hard time, get a schedule, try it out. See if it helps you. It helped me a lot, and I'm back on track, and I just follow the routine. Just stick to the routine. You don't have to have motivation for the routine. You have to have discipline, I guess, but you don't have to have discipline to go to your job. You just gotta follow the routine. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day, start to your week so far. Remember to go outside, even if it's not a good day. It'll make you feel better. Walk your dog, hug your family, tell them you love them. I love you guys. Remember, you matter. Stay positive. It'll always work out, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya. God bless you.